Today I'm going to do the part number 2. It's January the 7th, 2025, and what I will be doing to you, I'm going to give you a part number 2 on Serbian and Slovenian Chetniks. Therefore, on Slovenian Serbs in blue uniforms, and a little bit more on Milosevic, Aleksandar Vučić. It should be definitely interesting because it implicates Ursula von der Leyen as well as Joe Biden. But Ursula von der Leyen a little bit more because she was the one who negotiated the crime. I am very much afraid she brokered the crime with the Slovenian police. Therefore, what I'm trying to say is, you get invitation to the court, a criminal invitation to the court. You get invitation to the court for crimes committed, such as homicide. That's exactly what I mean by Ursula von der Leyen negotiating murders, basically assassinations, killings of, I think it was foremost Croatian citizens in Croatia upon the war which broke out on, I'm not gonna say in the Balkans, but in Croatia was a much bigger war than in Slovenia, you know. We're gonna do some Croatia. This directly concerns Novo Mesto Police Department. Domovinski rat. We're gonna do this here. Just go to May 1991. This is here. November 12, 1995. We're gonna do is we're gonna do some. His name is Igor Juršič. This is a Novo Mesto director, police director. So this guy knew that he's gonna get from my perspective, definitely invitation to report himself, basically arrest warrant issued for this guy based on war crimes he committed in Croatia. So now he already knows, now you guys already know at Novo Mesto police station where I'm at. This does work like a spider because it's one memory that leads you to another. And yesterday I did talk about Aleksandar Vučić, who was personally appointed by Slobodan Milosevic to hire students, even high school kids, 3rd, 4th grade, they were taking 3rd, 4th grade high school kids for the massacres, for the killings in Croatia and also in Bosnia. Yeah, they would come to your school, high school, you're talking about kids, still grown-up kids, I'm gonna say like 20, 21, 22 students, and they would talk to you in Serbia when you are just age of as little as 16. Universities as well as high schools across the Serbia, this is what Aleksandar Vučić personally was running through the Serbia, and would hire you. They would pay you the money for operations which would include really killings, murder, basically murder scenes, killing families, killing civilians whenever that would be necessary to use people that there was a risk for those who would have done it, to be video recorded, audio recorded, identified somehow. That's exactly what they would do, so that the victims would not recognize them under any circumstances. If they would recognize them, those who committed, it would be impossible to recognize, really, almost impossible. Would simply excuse themselves as they attended even high schools, universities. This is why my policy, zero Serb, zero Russian, stranka ljudskih prava, which I discuss in this video right here. You know, they follow up on me according to their promises, and this is the response they get. And I bet they like one. They're gonna like one now even more. It's like this. This man here started his career at police almost identically to the war in Croatia. What makes it really, really interesting about this guy, is what makes one really, really interesting, is that he was hired by Milan Kucan as a police officer based on his crimes he committed in Croatia. I don't think it was in Bosnia, but it definitely was in Croatia. Who knows, maybe it was also in Bosnia. This man did travel to Croatia, literally to Slavonia, to kill people. And he did not, contrary to what he claimed, that he killed one person, because I'm going to explain about this issue. He did not kill one person. He killed more than one person. The way this stuff was done, he was not the only person who did this. There was other people that were also going to Croatia to assist Serbs with killings. From Ljubljana, it was such an individual, and there was supposedly at least 2 other individuals from Novo Mesto police station. It's something that I have to be very careful with. So it's important to note he did not travel by himself. Once these people were detected, first of all, this is how Milan Kucan hired him. Milan Kucan was with Robert Golob searching throughout Slovenia for the volunteers that would go to kill Croats and Bosnian people at the beginning of, you want to call this Domovinski Rat, whatever you want to call this, at the beginning of the war. And this is how he secured his job at police station. He got you, in the best way, under this kind of circumstances, for you to secure job at police is for you to involve yourself in a crime and place a really black mark on your name for the sake of elite that governs, either in the background or whatever it is. But Milan Kucan, as far as myself, always governed this country. That there is no doubt about it. He always had ability to manipulate police, and the one who had police in hands was Milan Kucan, and this is the one who governs the country. He governed this country like a dictator, literally through the opposition. And if you ask me, this is a non-existing opposition. This opposition, just like Slovenian state, exists on the paper. That's all there is to it. So it was this guy here who would go and do dirty job with the Serbs. Why this guy was doing, I don't know. I know there were women. I know there were Serbian women involved. I know that was a lot of bordello business going on already before the war. I did talk to you about Golobic. I did talk to you about this Golob, how they traveled, how it was abundant of sexual stuff that went on. Also throughout Croatia, not only Serbia and Bosnia, but Croatia. where Serbs would even run these houses where they would sell girls and so on throughout Slavonia. Not even too far from Belgrade. So he found himself doing the wrong stuff. These guys would go just like a Belgrade kids. They would go on their assignments during weekends, any spot, anything that would open for them to have ability for this excitement, they would use. Well, needless to say, the normal person would not even consider crossing the border with Croatia and Slovenia under this type of circumstances. But they did. And this is how Milan Kučan hired this man as a police officer. That's how he got into the police. He did not stop with crime. And finally was caught doing a crime, probably in what was I would say probably 1994. And I would say 1994 because it was Stefanic who learned about it. Every police officer who met me at the police station, I'm not talking about the younger Božičnik who gave me a ticket for the improper right turn in Žabja Vas. I'm talking about the older guys. I'm talking about the Simonic. I am talking about, it's going to come to me. They're all listed under October the 30th, 2024. I am going to put the link so that you can read about who. Every fucking one of them learned about this stuff. Every fucking one of them knew about this stuff. According to accounts, even their own accounts, they all traveled to do exactly the same thing as Igor Juršič had done. However, that is not correct. And they did so as a form of solidarity toward Juršič. They did so because they wanted to bail the Juršič out of invitation to the Hague. That's what you do with the criminals like this. And this was really a criminal soul, because once it was learned about what he was up to, what he was doing. Well, let me go here. You are gonna get invitations because you, as I'm gonna explain in continuation, you did everything possible to temper the proof. You did everything possible to excuse crimes against humanity, war crimes in this case. And it's needless to say how far you have gone on October the 30th against me to protect your comrades, right? That's what you call a police officer in Slovenia. Juršič. I will explain to you everything. October the 30th, exact incident description. I have more beautiful than that. This one here. I am very, very, very suspicious about this guy here. So the Slovenian state gave them absolutely everything they possibly could to protect their identities in what I would refer to as a multiple layer scam. What I'm bothered with the most is that Ursula von der Leyen negotiated with them already. This is what I am bothered tremendously. I mentioned here Stefanic. I mentioned here Zupans. And I mentioned Zajšek. This one here, this Zajšek, is very interesting case to me. I am not going to issue the statement in respect to this guy until I precisely know whether he was one of the people who was in this, because I think he might have been the second guy in this thing, but I am not certain to say this enough. I know that he had other comrades from the Novo Mesto police station that would continue to go do the stuff, but I'm not certain about the Zajcek. So this guy is in between. Till if I finalize, if I see something that I can find him on a scenario, it seems to me very familiar, but not familiar enough for me to accuse one of doing something like this. The way this stuff was done was Zajcek definitely traveled to these locations. Simonic even traveled. Everybody traveled. Stefanic, Ogulin, absolutely. When they learned about this stuff, and this is the stuff they more than knew about, there is no proof that exists out there that these people, all of them, were not involved in killings in Croatia. I don't have any kind of proof that would grant me anything like this. This is a different issue. However, when they learned about this stuff, they did travel, and another one who did not attended killings, I'm sure he did not, was Officer Simonic, whom I have also identified at Novo Mesto police station, who participated. He too traveled. He too traveled to Croatia to see what the fuck, where this happened, these incidents. Because when this came out, it was really, really bad for the police station. However, the way this stuff came out, it's called shushkanje. Shushkanje means they silence this, they play down. Like basically, instead of 20 people you kill, they say you kill one. And even that one, the way it was killed, because I remember, one I remember definitely that was killed, there was also what appeared there were other people that were killed. It appeared that this guy would take groups out, together with his Chetniks, with the Serbs in Croatia. However, for the last one that I remember, Juršič personally took out, shoot him in front of me. That's how I remember him, was through a classic MK Ultra setup. That's basically when they get you, like in a movie Kader, brainwash you. First what they do is they traumatize you, they torture you. So you are confused, you are erratic, you want to get off out of such environment as fast as possible. So this is a classic. This is an MK Ultra classic, and they do this stuff when they get caught. If they have somebody who is subjected to MK Ultra and they are using one as a witness, this was a frequent method, a frequent police method to create a setup that was actually a fake, and that was used to cover up the real crimes. Crimes in this case, not a single crime. And so this was a guy who was involved in torture, this guy. And apparently, I was the one who told Juršič to take that guy out, and Juršič apparently pulled the gun out and shoot him. And this is how it all ended, and we left. Actually, Juršič was asking, is there anyone else, and so on. So I know that they were doing this stuff in an end stage, in a final stage. And this stuff was actually done to cover up for Milan Kučan, for what went on for entire 3 years at least. In Croatia, I assume. It could be also one place throughout Slavonia. It could be also one place, however, in Bosnia. How many people this guy killed, it's a question what really went on. But that's Igor Juršič. He became a director of Novo Mesto police station. Now what's interesting is Ursula von der Leyen suggested me, you are going to identify these guys and so on and so forth. Well, this is about this stuff was long time ago. This is about other issues too that are involved in it, like how the fuck you are European Union Commissioner suggest me to under this kind of circumstances, go and identify somebody. It's, from my point of view, from my perspective, this is bizarre. This already tells me that you're in bed with them, that you, based on your negotiations, have already come to certain zaključak, I don't know how you would say, findings. Like, findings is basically when you investigate crime and find a lie that, you know, through insertion of certain diplomats, certain channels that will simply allow one to walk away, basically walk free. You know what I mean? So this is not exactly what I find beneficial from your perspective toward me. It doesn't, because especially when you stated to me during MK Ultra, you stated to me, and then we will see, based on how you do the job, how you perform the job. Is it like that you are dreaming something? Is it that you are actually working? Is it that you would look credible and so on? I don't fucking know. You're fucking credible. You're credible, Ursula von der Leyen. You're credible. You are I and I am you. I'm not you, but you are I. You are credible. You're credible because you already investigate investigations. Just like Ljubljana people who came to Novo Mesto. The guy that was about 185, 190 centimeter, dark hair with the glasses, who went straight to, in front of me, demonstrated me how he's talking to Božičnik, how he was talking to these police officers, how this commission came and took time to sit with them, and they give their side of the story on the questions, the way they already... Every crime during MK Ultra was investigated, but not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 police officers. They have more. They have at least for every crime, at least 10 police officers investigating it, with main people, state prosecutors such as Miran Sudin, and then also staff people they have used, hired from out of the police to evaluate, to see how they would react, how they would feel, and then properly navigate this stuff. So, you know, this kind of the investigation, it's like a Mickey Mouse stuff. I do the stuff, it's like Andrew Tate stated to me. He stated, you talk on your video and you talk and you talk and you talk and you don't accomplish anything. Yeah, but this is because of Brussels. This is because of criminals in Brussels inside of the European Union. But I still do the stuff. I continue to do the stuff. So, you know, nevertheless, I give the testimony. Now, whether it's gonna Croatian state cash this testimony for other, maybe even personal, or I'm gonna say private or national interests, that's something else. I don't have control over that. I was not given a choice. The only choice I have basically is to enforce law and order against a big size crime, criminal syndicate. American presidents were involved in this stuff. They just elected another criminal, basically criminal, previous criminal as a new criminal again, and so on. I don't have a authority, power over American nation as far as going to the voting poll and cast their votes. FBI and Central Intelligence Agency assisted this criminal syndicate best to their abilities. My abilities are limited to this stuff. Yeah, I don't know how much important is this to know for the Croatian people, for the Bosnian people. Stuff I'm talking about for Kosovo people, I don't know. I'm certainly not doing it for Slovenian people. Obvious reasons. From Janez Janša to Lojze Peterle to Dmitry Rupel to Jelko Kacin to France Bučar, there was no opposition politician that would not know about these things, yet they have done absolutely nothing. I mean, I think it's disgusting enough. I'm age 53 now, and look at me. Look at them and look at me, basically. Look how this stuff goes. Look what this country had turned into as far as my statehood. Now, today the lady told me at Home for Elderly People that I might have to take my father somewhere else if I don't think they're being taken care of, after I pointed out the torture that went on inside of the Home for Elderly People since '95. Actually, the torture went inside of that room since 1990, not 95, but since 1990, 1988. Since 1988, not 1995. Okay? So when you tell somebody like myself that entire ancestry is from here, from this country, that you need to get the fuck out, whatever, and then you already know that this country is the country that is serving interests of somebody else. You know that they are serving interests of somebody else, but I am a real native here. I don't know about the rest of the Slovenian people if they're from here. I know I'm from here. And so I don't give it also three fuck about Slovenian people, how they think, what they feel, and how they would and they would not, and so on. All I'm saying, I am from here. And so that's basically the stuff I can tell. This is how far I can go. This is what I can give my testimony. Officer Simonic was interested in helping me. To me, it appeared to me that he was interested in helping me, because I don't think he participated in this stuff and he wanted to go. Back in the day, he was really pleasant guy, this Simonic. I remember him. This is an older police officer, and he was very curious about what the fuck happened in this case. And so just like Stefanic is just a part of a really criminal syndicate at the Novo MESTO police station. This is just a guy that will go like classic and will just roll under the table everything and will pretend like nothing happened. Okay, so once they identified this, now I'm talking about the European Union illuminatis, identified these people as the criminals. And this stuff happened even earlier. This happened probably already sometimes in 1993, if not even earlier. And I know so because they disappeared from the picture for some time. In fact, it looked like they're not going to even talk about the Stefanic, talking about all these police officers who met me at the police station. Every fucking one of them. This guy, I void one out. His name is Zupans. I don't want him inside of this stuff. This one is going out. Other than that, all of them. Okay, also not the girl. I don't know what her name is right now. Who did a police report with the Stefanic. She was present during the police report with the Stefanic. Obviously that I will get to the investigation department so that I explain to you how this stuff was enforced. Okay, obviously the neighbor Metod Jerman was present, and what exactly he was doing in Croatia, whether he did kill people or not, this was a very violent individual. Okay, this was a very violent individual. How violent this individual was. This was a very, very aggressive individual. If you would ask me if the guy like this would go and do the stuff like this, I would say yes. Now, do I have the proofs that I can say that he was actually doing this kind of stuff? It's a neighbor here, Metod Jerman is his name. I was a higher investigator in the police station. I will say to that, no. I did not testify one killing people. He was in a funny situations. He was aggressive. The truth is, so aggressive that You could not discern between him and between the Serbs that carried guns, rifles. So do you understand me what I'm trying to say? That's bad enough. Now I know they caught Juršič. I know that kind of stuff. How much this neighbor here was involved in it, I don't know enough for me to say that he was actually doing this stuff. I know that these guys were going down there. They were going to Arkan, that was in Bosnia. They were going to Croatia. Juršič was actually all over Serbia and also Bosnia and Serbia and so on. So this is a really, really strange case, this individual. That's all the hell I can say. I heard that they were going out there to kill people, and it did end it not in 94 but in 93. And like I stated, no, so because it looked like they finally removed them out of the picture. Illuminati from European Union find out about that stuff, and it looked like it was over for them. But it was Milan Kučan with Robert Golob in as early as in 95 that would introduce them back on the picture, and these guys would come back on the picture like completely different people. Few days ago, that's basically on January the 2nd, 2025, I met kids in Šmarjeta, not Šmarješke Toplice, but Šmarjeta. They came from Ljubljana, Logatec, and I don't know what. And these kids were involved in MK Ultra, and two of them were 12 years of age, and one was 16 years of age. And it's these kids that did not know what the fuck went on with me, because I wasn't capable to discern in between their age. Now you're talking about age 12, and you're talking about the year 2015, you're talking about the year 2014. The 16 years old kid, 9 years ago, this kid was, imagine, 7 years of age. You're talking about 12 years old. 6 years ago, let's say, they were 6 years of age. 5 years of age, 6 years of age. Yeah, I would not discern between the age. How, you're gonna say, how the fuck is that possible? That's very possible, because Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana, Polje, tortured into oblivion, no less. This was a trauma-based cardiovascular total oblivion exhaustion trauma based with the police assistance torture involving adults, violence that would finally, not because you could not sustain or anything like this, but because I did resorted myself to how can I say, basically you unplug brain. Some people say it's overload. No, it's not overload. In my case, it was not overload. It could be overload if I would continue to resist to this what they found as a solution. And it's a funny thing, because I also found that as a solution. They found it as a solution because they figure out they can do with me whatever they want. I found it as a solution because it allowed me to put my mind, my brain into gear and basically fuck off. Basically just respond to them mechanically. You know what I mean? And so this is, rather than take unimaginable forms of crime, psychological abuse into account and take them seriously, then you would really develop problems on a surface if you would do this stuff. That's why I remember this psychiatrist Peter Kapshin police officers and the psychiatric staff from Ljubljana Polje, they all became experts, and they were all certain that I am not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You're not gonna make it. They were so sure you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. You don't have a chance. You're not gonna make it. Every time I heard about, we did so much. We did this psychiatric cops, this psychiatrist cops was so excited. He was laughing, cracking this fucking face from satisfaction to cause psychological harm. Satisfaction, the biggest satisfaction he got when he deemed the job was well done, together with his comrades from Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana, police and so on. They were really satisfied with it. So the kids were thrilled. They were confused because they were kids and they did not understand how the fuck is it. They weren't sure whether even I am faking it, that I take children seriously just as if they were adults and so on. And so they were thrilled once they learned about that I am actually with their parents. But I'm not gonna say anything bad about this family because very interesting. They did me a big favor, this family. Police Stefanic was the one. This was maybe, I don't know. I am just glad the way I have handled this meeting at the police station. I remember him now, who he was. And this is animal. This is not a human being. This was animal that would participate in a background, and he was just as violent as any other thug that was involved in this violence, in this lynching. Assuring also this family, by the way, with other police investigators, that they have nothing to fear, that this is done in such a way, and it is. It is. The state of mind that you resort yourself is just very, very close to complete oblivion, and then you get electroshocks, so the chances that you're going to recall something and so on, they're very, very slender from MK Ultra procedure, you know. They explained them exactly the stuff I explained to you, that this is done through a primary torture, and meeting them basically was just a follow-up on this torture. And this is how Slovenian police enforced MK Ultra throughout Slovenia. The first thing they would do is they would be always torture into oblivion. Then it would be my meeting people. We under terms of psychiatry, Skopje, police, Kučan, and so on. That's how the Slovenian apparatchiks did this stuff. I think that they were more vicious than Joseph Stalin. I think that Stalin, Putin, now this is basically rank of psychiatry, Skopje, and this Slovenian police here that we have in Novo Mesto. It's a politcommissars from Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, Soviet Union. Basically, that's what we are talking about, right? So, from my perspective, from the world where I'm coming from, this is totally understandable. When I consider basically where I am coming from, the only thing I can say is they always accented here in Yugoslavia, in Slovenia, that this is not like in Soviet Union and so on. I don't think that Joseph Stalin was so fucking insane and murderous like Milan Kučan, and simply as an elegant looking psychiatrist here that worked as a private consultant, he's got the private office here in Novo Mesto. He is more fucking insane, he's more fucking murderous, crazy, just as the police officers that we have here at Novo Mesto police station. They're not people. Simply, they're not people. I refuse to refer to them as a people, because they're not people. Simple as this. It's a criminal syndicate that protects one another. This is like you go into, like, you know, exactly what I explained. They had to do with law enforcement and police zero, other than wearing uniforms, knowing the codes, the penalty codes, and so on. And that's all the fuck there is to it. Other than that, they are in it to protect their interests, interests of their owners from Ljubljana and also Novo Mesto. Gregor Golobic is from Novo Mesto, as I stated. So it became evident that they were caught early on and introduced in 95 by Milan Kučan back again. They appeared out of nowhere. But that's 2 years. Okay, so the family, I was going to finish that stuff. The family was just fascinated, but I think they knew all this stuff. Talking about the young couple, parents from this 16-year-old kid, because psychiatrist Kapš and Štefanić were the one. They personally explained them why they don't have to anything to worry about how this fucking brain fucking works, how you do that to the person, so that person is all, you can do whatever you want, even have children participate inside. For adult person, actually take them as adults. I think they were fascinated not because of what they explained them. I think they knew about all that stuff, but because they managed to record it. People did record a lot of that stuff. And when you get a recording like this from police, that's rather a good stuff. You can trust me because you can trust me on that stuff, because all the children, the 3 children that were there, they were not from one family. They were from 2 families or whatever. They were explained by their parents how it works. I said, yes, this is not insane. I don't know what it is. This is beyond insane. The kids in this families don't grow tall, which is, I think, kind of strange, because I think that parents from or I don't know, I think, whatever, from the 16-year-old, I think he had even, I think he was light-haired. That's what I think. Or it was mother that was light-haired. I made a mistake, and walking back home, I figured out that he's got a brother and sister. No, I think those are his parents. He's got a really beautiful mom. His father, however, did have, I don't know, brothers or sisters. I would say that his father was the youngest one in the family from the children that for a grandfather of this 16-year-old had, who was involved in my case since my childhood. This is a very, very big case, and it goes all the way to Ljubljana in this case. This uncle of his, they were talking about, I remember him, he had a room inside of the castle on the 1st floor. And so it was around the castle, this shoulder, we say, pesek, white. I did describe them a castle, that the castle is on the flat surface, completely flat. It's nowhere high or whatever, but it's flat. I think that uncle had, I would say, green or blue eyes. Yes, he was shorter, and he kind of looked like Stanonik, but he was not like this. But I could do a sketch of him. That there is no doubt about that. Yeah, let's go back to this stuff. They pulled them out, and this is why I took a little time to explain you how this stuff works, and introduced them back in '95, all of them. And this is what makes me weird. If Štefanić did not commit crimes in Croatia, the nature of the Štefanić and Ogulin, the criminals from Novo Mesto police station, was absolutely everything but what Croats even imagined. I will not forget Linda Kolinda Grabar Kitarovic explained me how she likes Stefanic and his wife. His wife is a teacher, so it's such a family, you know, oriented family and so on. And he was so pro-Croatian. He liked Croatia very much. Yeah, really. Or let's say Ogulin, because there is a city called Ogulin, like a more like a village, whatever. Ogulin in toward Karlovac down across the border of Slovenia, and he was the one who posed with me over there. Ogulin, Croatia, very nice. Oh yeah, very nice. But what the fuck did you have really with the Croatia? I wonder, did you talk about this stuff? Because when they made Juršič, Igor Juršič disappear of the picture, they also made disappear the picture shortly. It was like this. Every fucking one of them, they all disappeared from the picture for like 2 years. I would be meeting them by Milan Kučan, by Robert Golob or Borut Pahor, let's say, or Golob, just politicians who were involved in it, or staff members, neighbors that were involved in it, or whoever they participated, introducing them to me like they were new people. And this is the kind of stuff you do during MK Ultra to confuse the victim on sense about who the person is, where the person is from, etc., etc. The first one who got back on the picture was Simonic, who met me at the police station. And he met me because he insisted somehow to, he kind of realized from psychology perspective that would be good for me to meet me, so that he would remind me basically of what went on in year 91 and 92 and 93 with this group of people. Obviously, why the fuck would they make disappear also Stefanic and all these other people? Why would they make them disappear? Why would they make these guys disappear? There were several people. There was a team of these people that was heading down to. Milan Kučan would literally hire Slovenian guys to become a police officers. Literally would groom them literally through committing themselves in a war, literally in a war crimes against Croats and Bosnian people. These people have a lot to tell about what the fuck went on. Rather than refer me to the psychiatric hospital as a mental patient. In Ursula von der Leyen, you need to keep your mouth shut, because you have gone far too far with it, providing these criminals with absolutely all kinds of people that are in charge for the justice, all the channels, the justice channels, police from the European Union, state prosecutors from CAG and so on. You just have nothing fucking to worry about this stuff. But it doesn't work like this. You can't be doing this stuff like this, after all. Okay? So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I don't know how much Juršič was legitimate with a killing of one individual for sure. There's supposed to be even 2-3 others that he eliminated. I don't think that was really a killing, but I know that he did killings, and that stuff, that incident was used to cover up that other stuff that Illuminati wanted me to produce, what they refer to even as the proofs of killings Novo Mesto police station officers committed in Croatia and also in Bosnia. There was one place also in Bosnia they did discuss about going also to Bosnia and so on, and with some already did, and back and forth and stuff like this. These people are doing cleansing in Croatia and Bosnia. Today is January the 7th, 2024. Let me demonstrate you what exactly I am referring to. I mentioned you a video. It is it's this video right here. I did one for the January 2nd, 2024, and I explained a lot about all kinds of stuff that went on. including about Vučić hiring, acting as a coordinator for literally running the service to hire young prospective murderers, assassins, just as I explained also in this video, throughout Croatia and also throughout Bosnia. I am 100% positive, also in Kosovo. When it comes to the Serbs, let's never forget, they even took corpses of dead Albanians from Kosovo. For Kosovo people, they threw them on trucks, on a rail, and they transported it. Could you fucking believe this shit? So they would not find their corpses. From Kosovo, they transported corpses all the way to the Belgrade, to the capital, and throw them in a mass burial grave and stuff like this. So that's why I told you I don't have any fucking Serbs for the neighbors. For me, every Serb is the same. Good Serb, bad Serb, I guarantee you, good exists for the bad and vice versa. It all depends whether you want to be a student or you want to be the one that is officially acting as a bad Serb, killing civilians throughout Bosnia, Croatia, Kosovo, whatever, and vice versa, how the fuck you want to do it. I don't like any of this stuff. It's sick. I never recorded anything like this. Serbs like to talk about the Hitler, they like to talk about the neo-Nazis. Together with the Slovenian side, they are very outspoken about it. They love to take the right side, and the least I would want to do is advocate men in the Nazi Germany that had father side of the family already at a train station ready for deportation to the concentration camp. The other side of the family, they even killed a brother to my mom. I would not want to go and advocate stuff like this, but these people are fucking worse. They act like it's a peace, they act like everything is normal, but they survive purely on psychiatric hospitalizations, basically by using psychiatric services through directed police, state prosecutor services, basically organized through the well-established channels that go all the way to Hague, all the way to Strasbourg and Brussels, basically to murder natives. I don't know about the natives, but I am native. I told you, I don't give a three fuck about when it comes to Slovenia. If this is how they do it, this is how they want to do the stuff, do we want to see each other eye to eye like this? We will. I am going to stay here, make no mistake about that. I don't know how it's going to be with the rest of the Slovenian people, but I'm going to stay here. This time around, it's totally different than what it was before. It's totally different this time around. What I am for you, you are also for me. I want to make myself clear about it. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time. Oh, this be part number 2. I like this here. Stranka ljudskih prava. Based on human laws, basically on laws for humans, not human rights. Primarily based on laws for human beings. Basically, the first step obviously is to see yourself as a human being. And cannot be if you're governed by animals. This part number 2.